as Bucky, Kanata, and Makwa, they make the rotate. Again, you talked about their surge. They're looking all right. And with 8 minis on Bucky, they can take some tags. If they take some damage tags while rotating, they've got the utility. They just need to make sure they don't go down for it, because this is about to be a very, very congested edge. You get a pretty decent west favoring first zone, but then a pretty fast south pull. Everyone's going to be on this edge. This is the edge where everyone will be. And if you go down now, the third parties are going to be relentless. They will not let you get the pickup as Blake goes down to Dusky.
And this is an interesting decision for Bucky, Kanata, and Makwa to make here. They actually need the material pretty desperately. There's no trees out there. We talked about how it's kind of affected the game already. Bucky's going to really eat in. No, it's all that sinker spray there. It does end up catching him. Of course, you have to consider, right, the stress of things that are going down here. It can be hard to perform sometimes. But, okay, it looks like Kanata and Makwa are going to get the save here, though.
Is Kanata not down as well? I don't know. Okay, Bucky is definitely down here, and that was a full... It was. Kanata and Bucky both went down to Storm and a Stink combined there. So again, whoever that was a great play by them. Bucky, Makwa, and Kanata have a really, really difficult rotate to make, and they've got Miro's team ahead of them. You know we have a stacked competition when we have hardly been talking about the ex-FNCS champions as well, who...
There's a lot of teams in the zone as well, though. Everyone now trying to slow down, take their time. Remember, they have to be careful who they rotate into. Everyone else is also going to equally be looking to push up on different kinds of teams here. And this is where that fire does start to clash. And you can only assume that right now, it is a tough game to play right now for these pro players, but the struggle to get to new zone, I'm hoping they will be able to pull it off here. You can see there's knock players even next door here. I saw Felix, Pose, and Sparrow being one of the teams here in this area. I saw that Reverse 2K, Miro, and Day are also positioned just up above this as well. And look, Bucky goes down. Makwa now just trying to struggle here to stay alive. He's going toe-to-toe against some. He's going to find some on the exchange here, and that's the tactical shock and the power of the tactical shock and coming in full there, at least finding what he could. But no, although he finds Felix, he does go down to Reverse 2K. Even though they go and get the trades there, he does ultimately fall.
He does ultimately fall, and that's a really congested edge here. I mean, I have to go back now as well. I'm not entirely sure if that was a stinker only that took down Bucky there, so I'll give him a bit of credit. I'm not sure what happened there on that rotate, but things looking very, very rough for one of the favorites here today. Illis Blake already down Furious as a solo. He's got a high ground position. He's got a Pepper, which honestly is one of the best things you can have in your inventory right now as a solo. I hope he's got his Storm Surge on the board, because as a solo in trios right now with this many players alive, it is going to be rough. NA East played out as NA East always does. Started off real slow, real careful. No one wanted to make that big move or that big bang, but DJ Age's Skittles out of the Orchard from the far north zone have rotated really well, and I'm looking right now, it looks like we have lost Nobu Beef, Lupian, and Nick F, and them rotating out of retail without fighting didn't yield them anything. So I'm expecting game 2, they're probably going to play a bit more aggressive. I don't think they're happy with how that game 1 went. They don't want to leave this one to no fight. I think take the fight and see what you get.
And this is interesting. Miro hasn't even gotten to heal yet, and Reverse is already gone. He's taken off with the win here. Virtually called out the entire competitive community. He has a lot to prove today to, I think everyone right now.
Yeah, Reverse 2K has been around for the longest time. A player who has been disrespected a little bit by the community, not really having his achievements taken into credit. And unfortunately, he's going to go down there at the hands of the elite trio Narwhal. And
yeah, look, barely any heals. That's that passive play. If they over-prioritize positioning, now all of a sudden they're getting there. They're putting pressure, but they're not lagging behind to catch any refreshers. They're not sitting behind where there's a potential pickup for loot. And they're only a couple tags above the surge. Even there, they just found the knock. Edgy just found the knock, but he's probably not going to be able to pick up Voyu's loot.
Well, I was going to say, though, potentially for this team as well, they are a very low ground team. You've heard us say that a lot, but Censored, Edgy, Commandment are synonymous with the low ground more than any team is on pretty much any region. That is their playstyle. And the one advantage of that playstyle is an early elimination endgame and a full refresh. If you're on height, yes, you might be able to harpoon the loot. Yes, you might be able to drop down and grab a little bit of it. But if you eliminate a team on low ground or a player on low ground, you get to grab everything they have, ammunition, material. So they have a chance at this. And again, Monster has touched on it. Utilizing those peppers early, a lot of players will save those till the end game to try to make a play for height. They have next to no desire to go for height. They play consistent low ground, but they get a complete opposite zone. They banked on getting it on top of them. They now have Jamper, Threats, and Rise right next to them on this rotate, which luckily for them is a very competitively experienced team. I hope they hit the rotate. No one goes too aggressive here, because a lot of them have to make this, as I think we just saw Avery go down in the feed as well. So the big names are falling.
Yeah, and that was to the hands of Tahi there too. So Tahi already had 3 eliminations, just finding little by little, chipping away at the competition here, chipping away at that solid block of ice, if you will, because this is one cold lobby here. Scented, Edgy, and Commandment do manage to get in front though. They're rotating right alongside Sprite, Gabby, and Gabe and Tahi. My gosh, English is so hard right now, so I'm just trying to read and soak in all of these players that are coming through.
That's a good one. I like that one. We've created a few ones over the years. It's always undelivered. We'll run with them a little bit. As Dom, Dusky, and Spade, a team we have not talked about at all so far, is in a big power position as well. This team, Dusky and Dom, obviously playing with Azervo last season. They've now picked up Spade, and both teams having great success. But Dusky, Dom, Spade looking so good on this position right now. Look at the loadout. It is night and day between the other teams we saw, like Scented, Edgy, Commandment. But someone's making a play for that opposite height on half, and they actually pull it over them. I'm not sure who that is, but that is an aggressive high play. I'm looking at your Jack Slacks Acorn of someone of that caliber on that level. No, it's Avery, Saf, and Stretch. When I see an aggressive high ground, how could I not instantly think of Saf and Stretch? They paired with Avery now. One of them got knocked, and they're still making the play for height, but I think they might be losing this one. But this is a team that will not give it up. They will sit on second height if they can. They're trying to take height right now, and Avery does not even have shield. That is the way they play, and they pulled zone as Sprite takes down Slacks. Everything's breaking down, Monster.
Yeah, everything is definitely starting to go south here for a bunch of the teams. This one included. They are out of material, guys. We've only seen the pitch from Avery here, but it is not looking too hot. Stretch, Saf, they have a reputation for taking home these first game victory royales, though. Early in the competition is usually where they really steam up their points. It's really where they start to position themselves up. When you look at the lobby from that wide shot, they are the only team even thinking about playing a mid-ground / height hold right here that wasn't given the half in, half out, right? Everyone else is down on the low ground. Everyone else is content with making it to the new zone, but not this team. This team wants to win.
And Dusky takes down Shades. This is looking so good if you're a Dusky, Dom, or Spade fan, because, yeah, they have the high ground and no one is poised to take it. Avery's team is the closest to taking it, and we're seeing Avery with 0 shield, 3 builds, and no spray weapon. Like, this is looking fantastic for the high ground team. They've only got 1 elimination, though. They have the material and they're above on Surge, but we know in this finals format, eliminations are worth 2, a victory hour is worth 30. You can easily see someone jump up with the top 3 and more eliminations. So you're looking at teams like Scented, Edgy, Commandment that I imagine will either be going down soon or are going to start lighting up the feed down below. But this high ground is being played to perfection right now. They got 1 player at the back, making sure no one late takes it off them. There's no mobility in the game right now. If you want to get to height, you've got to build up to it. As Avery goes down, Stretch and Saf are still pushing forward. Commandment, Scented, Edgy, from when we saw them last, Monster, are looking so much better. This is what they do best. They're on the low ground, boots on the ground. They are ready to take someone out, get their refresh, and push through, as I think we're going to be seeing the end of Saf, Stretch, and Avery here in game 1.
Yeah, but listen, Saf already has 4 elims. He's still in this, and again, almost a near top 10 performance there. Dusky ends up finishing off Stretch as well, as it is Day who is in the low ground. The 2-man team, they made it this far. Don't count them out. They're still racking up points and eliminations, guys. That is how you creep your way and sneak your way into that winning position for a day 1 performance. But hold up, Dusky, he's still going here. Now onto the elite trio. Crunchy goes down. Will they find Slim as well? Yes, they do. He is out of this competition. Skittles and DJen still alive right now. Gabe, Tahi, and Sprite, they are still up as well. And I also see Senta down low.
Oh, they get dropped out. Dusty gets dropped out now. I don't know if they have the material to fight as Day is down below. You do not want to get dropped down when you've got Day down below with a big power shotgun. He has no shield. He has next to no health, but he is surging forward. 5 eliminations right now as a solo. I mean, if anyone could do it, it is Day. He's only got 8 builds, but he will get the refresh. He will find you somewhere in the mid ground. He has the builds. He goes on the outside. 75. Make that a potential 6, but no. He takes down Sprite, but Gabe and Tahi are there to back him up, and it's Mega, Dubs, and Rocade on the low ground. 4 teams, 10 players alive, and Mega goes down here. You are seeing a who's who of NA East, the best players in the world, just go in an all-out shotgun off. This is a firepower fight, and who is going to come out on top? You have to imagine it is high ground. It is high ground versus low ground. Commandment, Center, and Edgy. Monster, you coined it best. Down in the crypts, and it's Gabe and Tahi who managed to take high ground. We have seen this team play a single game this season. They got the victory out. There is no way this team is going to have a 100% win rate out of their drop uncontested.
Wow.
Gabe,
I know. I mean,
And
here are our first scores. I can't believe it, Vivid. This is the very first scoreboard of finals. See, this is insane. Okay, here we go. Gabe Tahi and Sprite, of course, 54 points. A great start to proceedings there. 12 eliminations, the victory royale of 30 placement points. But look at second, third, and fourth place. All tied at 36 points. Yes, I mean, every single one of these teams is just either going to have a great one or a bad one, and it all depends